Aziz Badra is founder and CEO of Band of Hands, a trusted on demand marketplace to access a flexible workforce. It's perfectly suited for today's businesses who experience a fluctuating demand, probably more than ever, I would imagine.
Yeah, very much so.
How you doing, Aziz? Good to see you. We're recent friends.
We are recent friends. Thank you for having me, Dave, and giving me the opportunity to chat with you.
I think you have a really, really unique perspective, especially right now when there's this huge words almost fail me. Army, group, mass of people who are either looking for work, in the process of doing job searches, or figuring out if a part-time or a temp gig is right for them. What are some of the biggest problems? But
We,
let's flip it a little bit. Let's flip it
sure.
a little bit. We're talking about these people trying to find work. What about the people who have jobs, okay, and are looking to find people? What are some of the biggest problems that these potential employers are facing in looking for these part-time or temp workers?
Right. Well, Dave, these are unprecedented times with what we're going through with the virus and so forth. And we have built a very robust, very flexible platform that's very, very pro business
Hmm.
and also pro worker.
Hmm.
We've taken a whole different approach to things. Now, I like to say that if you're going to help businesses, which I've been a small businessman all my life,
Hmm.
and our approach to what we're doing here is to help the small businessman. So, in your staffing, in your gig world, and so forth, instead of being on the opposite side of the table where businesses typically find themselves with whether it's a salesman or a staffing industry expert, we put ourselves on the same side of the table with the business
Hmm.
to try to help them literally get their costs as low as possible. Because in business, your biggest costs are always going to be your labor.
Hmm.
And so, by taking a completely different approach, business model approach, meaning, hey, we're taking a membership approach versus trying to get the maximum dollar per hour for the employees, we're really looking to kind of put the industry on its side.
Hmm.
This is pro business, which the more you can help a business save, the better wages that they are able to pay for their employees.
So it's control over costs. It's almost like you call it a membership model. It's almost like a subscription thing, right?
Exactly. A SaaS model where you pay, you're exchanging a variable cost in labor for a
Hmm.
fixed cost and knowing what it is actually going to cost you versus not knowing what the variable cost. You know what you're paying with us. And then we are now aligned with your business
Hmm.
in trying to help you staff with the best people
Hmm.
at the lowest possible price. So instead of kind of being that push and pull,
Hmm.
I'm trying to get as high of a markup as possible. You're trying to pay as low as markup as possible.
Hmm.
We simply say, hey, pay us a flat membership fee,
Hmm.
and then we are now working as a consultant or on your behalf to help you
Hmm.
get those costs as low as possible.
And you do that by pushing everything online, like an employer who had these positions or something like that. You would strike up this subscription or membership deal with them. They would, I would imagine, do a whole bunch of profile information on the website, on the service, or
That's
whatever,
right.
that would help you and help them find matches and whatever. Now, are you primarily at this point a West Coast or a California type of solution? Or if somebody was interested in outside of California, would they work with you, or I mean, what's going on there?
Sure. So our platform is actually nationwide.
Hmm.
We rolled out initially here in Southern California, but we're able to do business in all 50 states. And the nature of our business is basically cloud based. So we
Hmm.
can mimic or do all the things that your typical staffing type companies can do.
Hmm.
We just do it all online
Hmm.
and makes it a lot easier. And we're able to fill the positions very, very quickly because that's really what it boils down to.
Hmm.
A lot of companies out there are willing to pay these exorbitant markups simply because they need people now. And what
Hmm.
we've done is, hey, by creating the membership model,
Hmm.
we give you those people ASAP and get
Hmm.
people into your business at the same day. The only difference is we're not punishing you with 100% markup because your needs changed overnight or something like that.
Um, Most of the I'm hearing some mixed stories about how people who um, are out of jobs right now, almost at least through the end of July, might even be making more money living off of unemployment than they would be, looking for work. Is that a huge headache for people looking for part-time and temporary people?
That's a great point. That's a really great point, Dave, because as I said, these are unprecedented times. You have a lot of employees that are shrugging their shoulders and saying, hey, Dave, I'm making more money on unemployment now with this additional, I think it's $600 per week that they're
Yeah.
getting from the government through July 31st. So it's just added another layer of complication to the
Hmm.
hiring process.
Hmm.
So even if you were to open, when we have the green light to open the economy back up, it's not going to be a light switch. It's
Hmm.
going to be kind of like, instead of a light switch, it's going to be a potentiometer. It's kind of be a slow dial up of things.
Hmm.
And the challenges are going to be, I think, several different challenges. You have businesses that are just not coming back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of businesses that have already, like Soup Plantation here in Southern California, big chain, and they just close their doors permanently. And then you have the ones that are coming back, trying to bring their employees back, and some of their employees are going, I'm making more sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
So this is really a challenging time, and it's kind of fortuitous, but our platform addresses this in a beautiful way because
Hmm.
we're a veteran-owned business. We were looking to help put veterans to work, giving them opportunities
Hmm.
to ETS out of their full-time active duty, and then
Hmm.
transition into civilian life. Our platform was built to do exactly that. Well, that
Hmm.
turns out to be a big benefit for where we find ourselves today.
Hmm. So the veteran community in particular has been able to get quite a toehold and gotten traction in your service offering as well. People who are coming out of the service or service family members
Right.
could find success in working with you as well.
That's exactly right, because you have a lot of your spouses, for example,
Hmm.
and you have a lot of your active duty military who are now transitioned back into civilian life that are looking to bolster their resume. They're looking to be involved or start work and find work. A lot of companies might be reluctant to hire people because they know that if they're full-time active duty
Hmm.
and this is the spouse, that they're going to be transitioning out. Our platform allows them to engage with those people easily,
Hmm.
try them, use them for a period of time,
Hmm.
and we don't. We've taken another approach that's very different. When you're hiring somebody, which is a W-2 employee on our
Sure.
platform, whether it's a military spouse or not, you could use that person for 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years as a W-2 employee.
Hmm.
If you find, hey, you know what, they're going to stay in town and we want to bring them on as a full-time employee, you're
Sure.
able to do that, and our fee is zero.
Cool.
We're trying to remove as much friction as possible in putting people back to work.
All right, that's important to note. And that's Band of Hands. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Bandofhands.com.
bandofhands.com. That's correct.
And just as a final question, Aziz, it's a question I ask everybody, which is, what lessons have we learned during this thing that we must not forget?
There's a lot of great lessons I think that should be learned and could be learned, and it's about being prepared. Fights, battles, employment. There's a lot of different things like that are not always won by the best person. They're won by the company, the person, or who is the most prepared. So what we have done, we want you to be as prepared, whether you're a business or whether you're an individual. We want to help you be as prepared as possible to be able to, on a moment's notice, jump into an opportunity, be tried. If you're a business, we want to give you the opportunity in a moment's notice to hire someone. But yet, with all the different, here in California, we have your ABC ruling, we have the
Hmm.
AB5 ruling, and that's really almost made contractors completely extinct.
Okay.
The challenge then becomes, what do you do and how do you do it? Because 17 more states are looking at possibly adopting the same type of rules. So
Yeah.
by being on our platform as a W-2 employee, it's kind of like a better way to gig. We call it the hire revolution, HIRE, the hire revolution. This is giving people the opportunity to be flexible and be gig workers, but do it as a W-2. So now the businesses are prepared to hire quickly and be able to adjust on a moment's notice.
That's fantastic. So once again, bandofhands.com, check it out. Aziz, so good to see you again. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate the time.